In our recent video on unused content in Zelda Breath of the Wild, we mentioned unused weapons were few and far between. That's because the save editor didn't have many options for them, and there was nothing, bar the demo obliterator, we could mod into our save file. As it turns out though, we kinda missed a trick here, since while you can't save edit unused weapons in, you can get them if you change weapons in real time instead. That lets you get things like the Old Man's Lantern, the cutscene versions of champion weapons, and tools for NPCs and enemies, to name just a few. The sky's the limit if you add weapons this way, and there are all manner of crazy results possible because of it. So let's look at them, shall we? Let's investigate all these unusable weapons in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Starting with a broken Master Sword. This one is used in certain memories and cutscenes and looks quite similar to the damaged one from Tears of the Kingdom. It's a cool design, and with a unique model and sound effect, one we're surprised wasn't usable in the final game. With only one attack power and no ability to interact with the world, it's rather useless functionality wise. Ah well, it does look good on a weapon stand, so that's cool. There are also two more versions of the Master Sword too. These are based on the default Master Sword plus the powered up one, and have an icon but no name. Unfortunately, they're not really useful in game. The unpowered one is technically usable, but it's got low attack power and low durability compared to a real one. And the powered up one? Yeah, that one doesn't seem easy to load in game. Yeah, let's move on. To the various weapons used by champions. Like say, Mipha's Lifescale Trident. This one is exactly what you'd expect it to be. A carbon copy of the normal Lifescale Trident, stats and all. It's useful in game for obvious reasons, but it's not exactly worth discussing beyond that. Rivali's bow on the other hand is a much more interesting story, since well, while it's mechanically identical to the standard Great Eagle bow, it's also comically massive too. Yeah, we're not sure if Rivali is a giant or the scaling is all off here, but this Great Eagle bow is literally about the size of Link. It's absolutely ridiculous, it looks utterly hilarious in the menu to boot. It's also likely just as terrifying for Link's enemies too. After all, it's already scary seeing a hero load up a 3-shot bow, but a 6-foot version with 3-foot arrows? Damn, that sounds like a nightmare waiting to happen. There are also a few NPC only items you can equip this way as well, like say the Old Man's Lantern. Yeah, that stick he used on a Great Plateau is classified as a weapon in game, complete with a nice menu icon. And well, it's a weird one to say the least. On the one hand, it does have some interesting features. For example, it's got a working light effect, so it's a mechanically novel item that seems to have some development work put into it. Unfortunately, it's also very clear the idea of Link collecting said weapon was scrapped very early on. Not only does it have 0 attack power and no collision, it acts like a one-handed weapon rather than a spear, sticks to Link's back in a weird way, and ends up stuck above the weapon stand rather than on it when hung up there. So it's certainly an interesting one, that's for sure. There's also this stick used for certain Koroks too. This one has no name or icon and does no damage in game. What's more, it also doesn't interact with the world properly either. You see, while the other weapons fall down when thrown, the Cor Stick just hangs in mid-air. You can't pick it up, it doesn't interact with objects, it just sits there looking ridiculous. So, while it's funny to look at, it's mostly just display stand fodder. And the same goes with this one too. Named highly a tree branch, we're not sure why it's used, but it functions like the other Cor Stick item, except with different design. Another neat type of item you can equip are monster horns. No, not the fused materials from Tears of the Kingdom. The actual horns monsters blow some of their colleagues in camps. What's more, there are also 3 types of them too. The Bokoblin and the Zalfos ones, found in game, and a Moblin design seen nowhere else. All of these can be equipped as weapons with various bizarre effects in game. Like say, the scout and sheath position. If you sheath them, they'll appear in front of Link's face. And they're so big, they look more like a Ruta cosplay than anything else. It looks absolutely hilarious and makes them worth trying for that reason alone. They also don't have proper swing animations too. As a result, if Link tries to equip them, he'll not so much swing them around as twirl in place. Again, it looks hilarious, it shows they're clearly not designed with Link in mind. Then here's what happens if you try to put them on a weapon stand. Put simply, they don't appear on a stand per se, no, they appear underneath the stand instead. This makes them easy to miss when collecting them, and we destroyed a few of them by somehow collecting them without realising they were there. So yeah, they're a fun set of items in their own goofy ways. Speaking of goofy weapons, we've also got the tools Gorons use for mining. Again, these are all classified as weapons internally, just like the old man's lantern and the Cor Sticks, and they're absolutely ridiculous when equipped by Link, since not only do not have interaction, but the scale is also off too. As a result, all three of them are oversized to the point to be ridiculous in a JRPG, let alone a Zelda game. Yeah, these things are massive, and maybe some of the most visually striking sets of weapons in the game. There are also a few weapons exclusive to Massia too. These are modified Guardian Sword Plus and a modified Phrenic Bow, both of which are used in his boss fight. And both of them are identical to regular counterparts in every way, they just work as usual. Either way, let's move on to our last craziest unused weapon, the punch Gorons use for self-defense. Yeah, this punch is apparently a weapon, and given it's also in Tears of the Kingdom, it's probably nearest thing to a recurring beta weapon in the whole series. What's more, it actually works for Link in game too. Indeed, despite usually only having 5 attack power, Link can indeed equip it to fight enemies with his bare hands. It's not the most convenient setup in the world, and you'll need lots of fists to get very far, but it is doable. You can indeed beat the crap out of Ganon with your bare hands. What's more, you can even make it useful too. Why? Because all the weapons we've listed so far retain the extra bonuses found in the original item. As a result, if your original item has a good few hundred attack power thanks to WMC, the unused one has the same level of power. This means not only can Link fight everything with his fists here, he also one-shot everything too. Yeah, Link can basically become Saitama and punch living hell out of everyone and everything in his way. Unfortunately, there is still one downside here. This weapon somehow has durability. Yeah, the Goron's fists apparently break if used too much. This makes the punch weapon kinda useless overall, since for the most part it'll break really quickly. Regardless, you can at least replace the Master Sword with it to get a ton more durability due to its powered up status, but as a rule, you'll need multiple fists to take down most enemies. Sorry folks, fighting that Lionel with your bare hands might be a bit trickier than you expected. Still, now you know what the weapons are, you may be wondering how you can get them yourself. Can you use inventory slot transfer, edit your save file, get them in game via some sneaky trick? Sadly, the answer is no, since not only is there no IST set up for them, you can't keep them if you close and reload your save file. Instead, you have to modify the inventory when the game is running, as in, find a way to take an existing weapon and transform into one of these ones on the fly, and there are only two ways to do that. Use a cheat to modify your active weapon via a modded switch. Thanks to Lightos on the Breath of the Wild speedrunning server, you've now got codes to all of them, so you'll be able to download those codes via the link in the description. Meanwhile, if you want them without mods, yeah, you'd be in for a world of hurt, because the only way to do that is with ISU. In other words, you better hope you're incredibly lucky, since the glitch you need has between a 1 in 268,000 chance and a 1 in 68 billion chance of even working. But hey, if you fancy your luck, I guess you could give it a shot. Either way, those are the unused and unusable weapons in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They have an interesting assortment of items with some hilarious effects and properties when used in game. Definitely try them out if you have the means to do so. Regardless, if you found the video interesting, give it a like, subscribe to our channel if you want to see more, then leave your thoughts in the comments below or over on the Discord server today.